Thank you so much for joining our Fridays for Florida virtual discussion today on giving and grassroots campaigning. I also want to take this time to just thank each and every one of you for all of the support that you have given this campaign. I want to thank my family for the support that you have given me. And I want to thank each and every one of our donors for taking the time out to make the investments in this campaign, because with that investment, we've been able to accomplish so much. And this night that we're talking about giving and talking about grassroots campaign, it all comes together when you think about the nature of a grassroots campaign. You see, a lot of campaigns spend a lot of money on television ads, radio ads, billboard ads, but our campaign is really about the grassroots effort. That's why we spend the most time having a monthly town hall. That's why we have these Fridays for Florida each and every day, or each and every Friday, so that we can talk about the issues that matter most to Floridians. That's why we have our Power Hour chats on Twitter every Friday, whereby people get a chance to ask me whatever question they want to ask, and inside of an hour, I get a chance to answer those questions. The reason I think that it's so important to be doing that is because so many people feel as if they don't have a voice. So many people feel that members of Congress are going to do whatever it is that they want to do and that they have no say. And so for me, it is very important to engage with the public in the way that I do, because I think that your voices and your opinions, they matter. And I also believe that if we can at least have communication, have some dialogue about what matters to you, what keeps you up at night, then it gives me a better sense of knowledge about what's important whenever I am the United States Senator, so that I can write policy that will directly impact your world. I want people to know that on the 23rd of November in 2020 is when I filed my campaign to run for the United States Senate. So it has been over a year now that we have been campaigning. And so I wanted to talk about a little of what we have been doing that would be considered grassroots and what campaigns should be doing. So in a year, we've been able, as a campaign, to help people to secure roofs for their homes. We've been able to help people get hot water heaters. We've been able to help people with drug treatment programs, finding investors to help take care of the cost of that. We've been able to help secure housing for individuals. We've purchased tents for those who do not have homes, and we've been able to stop evictions for tenants who have gotten behind on their rent due to COVID-19. And so these are just some of the things that we've been able to do as a campaign. I know that this is not what campaigns typically do, but it is the work that members of Congress should be helping constituents with, which is called constituent services. And so I'm not one of those kind of individuals who talk about what I want to do when I'm in the United States Senate. I believe a lot of what we can do then is the things that we can do now. And all it takes is someone to take the time to care enough to listen, to fight for and advocate for other people. This is what I am very good at. My gift in this world, the very thing that defines my purpose on this earth, is about helping and about giving. And so I like to talk a great deal about that, because it's very powerful when a person can understand who they are and what they were put here for. I always tell my team that you have to know what your why is. And my why is that I believe that I was put here to help others. I believe that it is the very thing that defines my existence. And I am at my best when I am operating in my gift. So for me, running for office is about maximizing my gift of helping others. As you can see, in a year's time, we've already accomplished more in 1 year than the members that I am running against have accomplished in all of the years that they have been in the United States Congress. And so we want to make sure that people understand that as long as you have a heart for the people, as long as you care about one another, there are things that you can literally do each and every day to make impact in the world around you. And so I want to challenge each and every one of you, wherever you are, to always look beyond self. I always tell people that when we come into this world, and we draw circles. Some people draw circles around themselves. And we've seen politicians who draw circles around themselves. Every policy that they push, every angle that they try and look at, it's always about how it's going to benefit them as an individual. And then you have people who draw circles around themselves and their families, and that's admirable. But you have people who draw circles around themselves, their families, and their community, and that's good. That's a good thing. You have people who draw circles around themselves and the nation, and then you have people who draw a circle around themselves and humanity. It's always a good thing to know how a person will draw their circle, because how a person draws their circle will dictate how they will interact with you and the things that they will be able to do for humanity. And so I'm the kind of person that believes that it is my responsibility as a person who was put on this earth to make sure that I am looking out for each and every human that passes me, that comes into my contact, that comes into my domain, because it's all about heart, and I have a big one. I believe in giving, I believe in helping those who cannot help themselves, and I believe in making policy that will directly impact the quality of life for everyone. So another thing about grassroots campaigns, and it's why we do this, is grassroots campaigns are going to do all of those things to make sure that they are keeping the pulse of the community, keeping the pulse of the nation, and making sure that they are understanding what's at stake. That is why we have monthly town halls. It's been a year, and we've had 12 town halls, more town halls than any candidate that I'm running against, because I believe it's the only way to really have a grasp of the real issues. In the state of Florida, we have 67 counties, and each county has a different themed issue. And people would know that if they were traveling the counties in the way that I do, so that they can better understand what these issues are in all of these different counties. Because when you become the United States Senator, you have to know what is on the hearts and minds of the people that you are looking to represent. And so town halls are one of those grassroots campaign things that candidates should be doing. The other thing is the events. I go to as many events as I can, because events give us the opportunity to converse, to get to know one another, for you to get to know me to get to know you, and really for me to get a chance to find out what's on the hearts and minds of the people. So events, door-to-door knocking, they call it canvassing, making sure that you are reaching the people where they are. We have technology, social media. There are so many different ways to reach people. I know a lot of candidates spend so much time raising money, and it's one of the reasons why I believe in the For the People Act, because we should really get money out of politics so that we can get to the root of what we are trying to do, and that is to write policy to benefit Floridians and Americans alike. But we can't get to the policy because we're so busy worried about the money. We're so busy trying to take care of the needs of our donors. And here's the thing, in a grassroots campaign, your donors should be the people. But too oftentimes in campaigns who claim to be grassroots, their donations are coming from PACs, they're coming from special interest groups, corporations. And the thing is that PACs, special interest groups, corporations, they can't vote, but you know who can vote? The people. And so what happens is that the people are left out of the equation, because these congressional members are taking money from entities that dictate their policy decisions. And so it's one of the reasons why, as a grassroots campaign, I don't take money from those types of entities, because I don't want to be beholden to those entities. I want to be beholden to you, the American people. I want to be beholden to you, Floridians. And so I depend solely on grassroots donations from the people. And so it's very important that the people understand that one of the reasons you're not able to get a member of Congress on the phone whenever you make a phone call, one of the reasons you don't get a direct message from an email, when you send an email, you usually get a canned response. And one of the reasons you don't get a letter written back in response to the letters that you have written is because they are not that concerned, because they are more concerned with the monies that they are receiving from those types of entities, the PACs, the special interest groups, the corporations, entities that can put $5,000 into their campaign. And so it becomes a very unfair advantage, usually leaving you out of the equation. And so we want to have money out of politics. And one of the pieces of legislation that has gone forward and only to be stopped by certain members of Congress is For the People Act, because it does just that. It takes money out of politics. So I like to have these Fridays for Florida discussions so that you can all have a better understanding of the inner workings of not only government, but the inner workings of campaigns. And so every campaign in the United States depends on funding in order for the campaigns to reach further. And so we are doing everything in our power to make sure that we are reaching as many voters as we can, whether it be through door-to-door knocking, whether it be through events or social media, Fridays for Florida discussions like what we're doing right now, or Power Hour chats on Twitter. It is all about engagement, and it should always be about me learning from you and how to best put forward solutions that can solve the issues that you are having. And so again, I want to just thank you for taking the time to be here with us today, because I know that you could have been doing anything on this particular day, the day after Thanksgiving. And I know that a lot of you are with your families and friends, but I thank you for being here with us. And please, if you enjoy these conversations, then be a part of the conversation, be a part of the movement, be a part of our campaign. And you can do that at allenellison.com. Be sure to make a contribution. We are always looking for those supporters who are going to help us to get over the finish line, because we cannot do this without you. It takes all of us. People ask me all the time, Allen, can you beat your opponent? And the reality is that with your help, we can do anything, but it takes all of us working together. And that's what we are. We are a family that's looking to move our society forward. And anytime you have leaders who are working to move society backwards, we need to band together and get those leaders out of office. We have a responsibility to one another, to help one another, to benefit one another, and to grow together and learn from one another and make our nation a more perfect union, the way the founding fathers intended. Thank you all so much. I hope that you have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to answering any questions that you might have on Twitter at the Power Hour chat. So thank you all very much. Have a wonderful day.